what we have here is a Reames Mule Ear air pistol. Now this one is CO2 powered. Both those balls hold CO2 gas in them. The gun is reminiscent of air guns that would have been made early, mid 1800s. Whether or not this is an actual direct reproduction of a gun that had been produced in the past, I have no idea. But it does look like what your older air guns would have appeared to look like. There's a ball bearing in there. That is for the firing mechanism. This is 22 caliber and it shoots round balls. This tin contains a bunch of the 22 caliber lead round balls for it. It is a tap load, so the round balls work the best. Pellets are a little too long. Under here we have different fittings for refilling the CO2 gas. Let's get this out of here and take a look at the gun itself. Here's a better view of the pistol. It's well executed. It's a heavy gun. You got to use two hands pretty much to shoot this. A one-hand hold is tough. It's got the dovetailed sights. And it appears he just used a black powder barrel. Inside there's a 22 caliber liner, so you're not just launching a 22 round ball down a big bore. So it does work the way it is. There's a look at that tap. You just turn that there, drop your round ball in and close it up. And then once that's done, you would pull that back and cock it and it would be ready to fire. So we'll look at the other side quick. There's a flip side of the gun. But yeah, a very nicely executed pistol. It shoots well. I usually shoot it 25, 30 feet at the most, not very far. And it groups pretty good. The biggest thing is being able to hold this gun steady is the tough part, because it is a heavy gun. But it is kind of fun to shoot. You know, it's a newer gun. It's modern. It's modern materials, modern metals. Much safer to shoot than the antique stuff. You know, metal work has come a long ways in 150, 200 years. I'm going to take that ball off and then you can see what the mechanism looks like inside there too. Alright, we'll have a look at, there's that ball bearing down inside there. Now that's the ball bearing I've been talking about earlier. It rides across the top of the pin on the CO2 bottle. It takes a little bit of finessing to get this right. You tighten the CO2 bottle in too much, it blows all the CO2 out the barrel. If it's too loose, it doesn't work at all. But once you've done that a few times, it's really easy to operate. And you know, you got the two bottles with the gun too, so you can get a lot of shots out of this thing, believe it or not. Yeah, it's definitely a fun one to play with. And I've been real fortunate to have one of his pieces. I met Mike once many years ago at an airgun show and seen some of his other guns back then, and finally was able to acquire this a few years back, and I really enjoyed it. And pretty thankful I've been able to acquire one of his pieces. So that is the Reames Mule Ear air pistol.